Hey, seventh graders, welcome to your engineering internship. This is day 1, and today you guys will be learning about and researching malaria. So your learning targets, I can define and explain the criteria for our engineering internship, and I can explain malaria and how it is transmitted through the human species. So you guys will learn a lot about how humans get it and how mosquitoes relate to that. Okay, so for your guys' bell ringer today, what do you think the top 3 most dangerous organisms are in the world? Okay, so you guys will say this is the deadliest, second deadliest, and third deadliest. Go ahead, take a second, pause this video, and think about organisms in the world that would potentially cause a lot of deaths. Okay, so you guys should have filled this out. And then the next thing you guys are going to do is open this link right here. It's going to look a little bit something like this. So if you guys scroll down, you guys will see that mosquitoes are in fact the deadliest animal in the world or organism in the world because they cause the most deaths. And then you guys can see second place, if I kind of scroll up, is people. Okay, people either killing people or like dying in accidents. Okay, and then finally your last is pit vipers, so snakes. Okay, so that's the first thing you guys should have done. Okay, all right, moving on. You guys are gonna walk through. Welcome to your new engineering internship. I am Ken Tepaha, your project director. You'll be working with me to design treatments that will help people infected with a disease called malaria. There are 3 criteria to consider when designing malaria treatments. We want to, 1, minimize the percentage of the malaria population with high drug resistance, and we're gonna get into that in day 2. Minimize patient side effects, which come with most medications. And of course, as usual, keep costs low, okay? Especially when we're focusing on malaria being a problem in a lot of third world countries. It's really important that the treatments are affordable. We want to accomplish all of this while making sure the malaria parasite population doesn't increase. In this project, you will apply what you know about natural selection and mutations to figure out ways to stop these tiny malaria parasites. You will also learn more about ways to make sure malaria treatments will be able to help sick people now and in the future. Okay, so when we talk about this kind of job that you guys are being assigned, this is mainly what a biomedical engineer would do. And it's not just looking at pharmaceuticals in the sense of like malaria. It could be anything like artificial limbs and prosthetics, insulin pumps, x-ray and other imaging, medical delivery services. Those are all products of biomedical engineers. Okay, so they study both engineering, they know a lot about technology, but the main thing is they have to understand biology and how the human body works. Okay, some other things that a biomedical engineer might look at is prosthetics, such as artificial limbs or even heart valves, systems to monitor body chemistry. So if you guys have ever been to the doctor where they put the little thing to pinch your finger that measures your guys' oxygen sats. So that would be something like that potentially. Biomedical electronics such as surgical robots or the laser system for eye surgery. Implanted devices such as insulin pumps, pacemakers, and artificial organs. So a pacemaker causes your heart to beat if your heart is failing to beat on its own. Physical therapy devices such as exercise equipment and wearable technology. Imaging methods, so ultrasound, x-ray, MRIs, strategy for improved genetic testing, and development of new drugs and ways to administer those drugs. So whether you're using like a needle or a patch or something like that. Okay, so moving on to slide 6, I'm gonna go ahead and have you guys take a second, pause my video and watch this video right here. Okay, it's called Unit 8, Welcome to Futurist. You're gonna learn a little bit more about your assignment here for the engineering internship. So again, pause, watch that video, and then when you're done, come on back. All right, next step is for you guys to read Request for Proposal. This is stemming off of basically what you guys just read. This is going to be chapter 1. So if I open up my library, make sure when you guys go up to the top that you guys are in Request for Proposals. That's chapter 1. Take a second to read it. It's pretty short. And then again, pause this video, come back when you're done. All right. So criteria or standards by which something may be judged. In this case, you guys are going to be judged on those 3 criteria that you read about in your article and that you heard about in the little video that you watched. Okay, so I'm going to be basically judging you guys when you develop your malaria meds based on those 3 criteria. So with that being said, I want you guys to summarize what those 3 criteria are right here on slide 8. Okay, again, take a second, pause this video, complete slide 8, and then when you're done, come on back. All right, so let's talk about malaria. Malaria is actually not a bacteria or a virus, which is what you guys probably think of most when you guys talk about diseases. Okay, malaria actually comes from a little single-celled parasite. Okay, so it's bigger than a bacteria, much bigger than a virus. It's actually a little microscopic parasite. And they use both mosquitoes and humans as hosts. They are transported between human hosts by the mosquitoes, and they use both mosquitoes' bodies and human bodies as places to multiply. In humans, malaria parasites first multiply in the liver cells and take a new form that can infect red blood cells. They then move to the red blood cells where they can multiply until there are many more of them. And obviously, since it is in the bloodstream, then if another uninfected mosquito comes and bites you and sucks up your blood, now that parasite is in their body, ready to be transferred onto the next host. So again, not like the mosquitoes do this intentionally, but it's definitely a poor side effect for a lot of different diseases with mosquitoes. Okay, so this is the life cycle of a malaria parasite. Malaria parasites use both humans and mosquitoes. I think I already read all this stuff with you guys. So here's kind of the starting point is a mosquito bites a human and malaria parasites in its saliva enter the bloodstream. So now we have malaria that's going to go right into the liver, and then it's going to kind of lie dormant in the liver for a while. The malaria parasites travel through the bloodstream to the liver. They enter the liver cells where they develop into a new form and multiply. When a large number of parasites have been produced, they burst the liver cells. So those liver cells are dead now, okay? They make them explode because they have so many parasites that have multiplied inside of them. They burst the liver cells and move into the blood, and now those same parasites can go infect a bunch of red blood cells and keep multiplying. So it just keeps getting worse and worse. The malaria parasites enter red blood cells and eat the proteins there. The parasites multiply again, bursting the red blood cells. This is when people experience symptoms of malaria like aches and fever. So they don't actually get sick with it just in their liver. It has to kind of multiply enough to enter their bloodstream. And then finally, another mosquito bites the infected human, and the malaria parasites from the human's blood enter the mosquito, and then the cycle just keeps repeating. So that's why it's so hard, it's a little bug. You can't necessarily pay attention when it's biting you or not. Okay, so I'm going to have you guys go ahead and read chapter 2. This is basic facts about malaria. So take a second, pause this video. When you guys go into your table of contents, make sure this time you guys are on chapter 2, basic facts about malaria. You guys are going to learn where in the world you see malaria, what it might look like under a microscope, some precautions that people might take to prevent getting bitten by mosquitoes and malaria. But it's a fairly short article as well. So again, take a second, read that, and then answer these questions. Where in the world is malaria most common? How does malaria get passed from human to human? What are 3 different ways to prevent or treat malaria? So it could either be a treatment after someone has malaria, or it could be something to prevent someone getting bit by a mosquito and getting infected with malaria. And then finally, what is one problem doctors face when treating malaria? So you guys should be able to get most of those from your article. But please use your own words, don't copy and paste. And then finally, brainstorm at least 3 different ways you could solve the malaria problem caused by mosquitoes. If you have more than 3, great. You guys can kind of add them there, but I want you guys to have at least 3. So again, take a second, pause that video, read chapter 2, and answer the questions through slide 14. Okay, so you guys should have finished up slide 14. Some of these brainstorms that you guys might have come up with, you guys might find an answer to now. So what I expect a lot of kids to say is like, let's kill all the mosquitoes, which I am always bitten by mosquitoes. I think they're attracted to me. So I wouldn't be mad about that decision necessarily, but this first video addresses what if all mosquitoes disappear. Okay, and then this one, second one is a really great video. So this is what the first one looks like. It's a little cheesy, I get it, I'm sorry, but it does a good job explaining. And then finally, this one is a really great video talking about maybe the future of mosquitoes and genetic engineering. This really ties on a lot to what you guys learned in that animal farm video of what we can do with genetics and how we could use that technology to potentially alter the DNA of mosquitoes and potentially stop the process or the cycle of malaria. Okay, so that's a really great video to watch as well. So again, take a second, pause that, watch these 2 videos, and then do your guys' exit ticket today. Then versus now, I used to think, so think about what you guys knew about maybe mosquitoes, malaria, those kinds of things. And then from what you guys learned today in lesson, what do you now think? Okay, so once you guys are all done, double check your slides, make sure you guys let it save before you exit out of it and hand it in. And I hope you guys are having a great day. Talk to you soon.